Hey everyone, welcome back to an exciting new episode of Pixel Peak.
We hope you enjoyed last week's very special episode. If you missed it, check out our social media for a link to watch it on YouTube.
Not to say that every episode isn't special. In fact, I have a pretty special something replacing this week's game review.
Oh yeah, it was a book review, right? On the one Ninja wrote.
Yeah, we'll get to see just how good it is as I test the book's tips in a few games of Apex Legends.
But first, we have a lot of news to share with you. Riot Games made a lot of surprising announcements at their League of Legends 10th anniversary event.
Epic Games bravely brought Fortnite servers down to release its successor, Fortnite Chapter 2, with a new map and some other new features.
The ongoing controversy with Activision Blizzard's behavior toward Hong Kong protests, well, continues. And it even made its way to the United States Congress.
And we're shaking things up even more with our PC analyst Walker Peters, who is letting us know about a pretty cool event that the Gaming Club is hosting for this week's analysis.
Let's get started with another special episode of Pixel Peak. I'm Kristen Lawrence.
And I'm Laird Davis. And we hope you enjoy your stay here
on Pixel Peak. Last week, during their 10-year anniversary stream, Riot Games dropped a bomb on the gaming world, announcing 5 new games, an animated series, and big changes to both Teamfight Tactics and League of Legends itself. Let's delve into it. Riot is taking their first step into the shooter genre with what they're calling Project A, a character-based tactical shooter that seems to combine the realistic, high-stakes gameplay of games like Counter-Strike Go and Rainbow Six Siege with the character based on abilities of Overwatch. Project A is still early in development, but Representative Anna Donlin says that they are developing the game from day one with serious anti-cheating implements in mind. We won't be hearing much about this game until next year, but it will be interesting to see how this new game stands up to the current shooter scene.
One of League of Legends' biggest strengths is its large cast of iconic characters within a well-defined fictional world. This makes it well-suited for a card game, and game Legends of Runeterra looks to take advantage of that. Runeterra is a turn-based competitive card game similar to Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone. Players can assemble decks of cards featuring characters and items from the distinct regions of the world of League of Legends. An open beta was released on the same day of the announcement, so we'll quickly learn how the new game compares to the other popular digital card games like Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering Arena.
League's auto chess game mode, called Teamfight Tactics, is a condensed form of League where you assemble a full team over several rounds in order to overcome your opponent through formations and team synergy. In addition to expanding the roster and large updates to the game mode, Riot announced that a mobile version of TFT will be released on iOS and Android in 2020, and that there will be a beta in late December.
Riot also announced an untitled fighting game simply known as Project L. Project L will be based off of League of Legends and include champions such as Jinx, Katarina, and others who will battle each other in a 2D environment. The game has been in development for a while now, and the fans predicted that Riot had intentions to make a fighting game when they acquired fighting game developer Radiant Entertainment back in 2016. During the live stream, Riot showed early development footage of the game, and while no release date has been announced yet, fans are eagerly waiting to know when they can play this game.
This past Sunday, Fortnite underwent a drastic change. The live event to kick off Season 10 began with a rocket ship blowing up in the sky, leading to a black hole that sucked in everything from the island to the in-game menus. For 2 days, all that players could see was the outline of the black hole. Epic Games also deleted all of its tweets and changed its profile pictures to match the black hole, only leaving one stream open showing the black hole. Sony and Nintendo had to reassure players that items previously bought were still available to them. After 2 days of complete blackout, Fortnite returned, but with some changes. Branded as Fortnite Chapter 2, the game brings a new map, along with different mechanics and weapons. Around 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the game returned, and what made this season different from others was the fact that players were able to discover the changes for themselves, as Epic didn't release notes on what the update contained. Of course, to some players, some of the changes may have not been a total surprise, as a Season 1 Battle Pass trailer was leaked during the blackout and hinted at some of the changes that would later be seen when Fortnite returned, showing off boats, swimming, and fish on the new map.
That sounds like it was a decision with quite a lot of gravity. Olivia Jackson, a stunt performer, is suing the producers of the Resident Evil movie franchise to pay for medical bills. While filming for Resident Evil, the final chapter, Jackson was seriously injured while performing a motorcycle stunt. When complications arose, doctors had to amputate her arm above the elbow. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Jackson's lawsuit claims that Anderson and Bolt created an unsafe working environment on the set of the last installment of the popular movie franchise, and also failed to procure adequate insurance to cover the injuries that resulted from her crash. She states that during the stunt, the camera did not lift in time and she crashed into it. She suffered terrible injuries and was in a coma for 17 days. Lawyers for the director and producer are trying to get Jackson's case thrown out, as the production company, Davis Films, has labeled the lawsuit a publicity stunt. Although the company had planned to get a liability policy of $3.2 million from Laird Insurance, but reportedly they refused to pay because the terms didn't cover all cast and crew. Davis Films has currently paid just under $250,000 to help cover Jackson's medical expenses. Jackson had previously done stunt work for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, Mad Max Fury Road, and Age of Ultron before her career-ending incident, and hopefully she sees justice for her latest endeavor, publicity stunt or not.
Lawmakers in both chambers of Congress have asked Blizzard Entertainment to rethink its decision to suspend a Hearthstone player based in Hong Kong who has publicly supported protests against Chinese rule. Chung Blitzchung Ing-wei was suspended after showing support for Hong Kong protests by wearing a gas mask and shouting "Liberate Hong Kong, Revolution of Our Time" in a Hearthstone stream. Blizzard initially responded by banning Chung for 1 year and confiscating his most recent winnings, citing a clause in the agreement Chung had signed that required players to refrain from making statements or actions that brings you into public disrepute. A week after the first decision, Blizzard decided to reduce the ban to 6 months and returning the $10,000 Chung had earned in prize money. Blizzard had also initially fired the broadcasting team that was present during the broadcast, but later changed the penalty to a 6-month suspension. This past Friday, members of Congress wrote a letter to Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick asking the company to reverse its decision, saying, "We urge you in the strongest terms to reconsider your decision with respect to Mr. Chung." In the letter, Congress also noted that Tencent, a Chinese company, currently has about a 5% stake in the company, which Blizzard President J. Allen Brack said had no influence on their decision to punish Chung. Blizzard is not the only company to come under Congress's scrutiny, as lawmakers wrote a separate letter to Apple after it removed an app that was being used by Hong Kong protesters. Blizzard has canceled 2 World of Warcraft events in the past 2 weeks due to protests both internally and from the fans. The protests have been ongoing since early June when Hong Kong citizens began protesting a bill that would allow authorities to detain and extradite people wanted by the Chinese government.
Now, we've all had the experience of eagerly anticipating the release of an unannounced game title, but one Grand Theft Auto 5 fan is taking his anticipation to a whole new level. This particular Grand Theft Auto fanatic announced earlier this month that he has taken a solemn oath to never stop driving until the elusive Grand Theft Auto 6 is released. It's almost certain that a bot is doing all of the work for this driver, but it's an ambitious idea nonetheless. This fan may be driving for a while, however, as there has been no official release date announcement from Rockstar. Grand Theft Auto is approaching its 6th year since its release in 2013, and optimistic rumors of a 2020 release date for the 6th game in the franchise have been making its rounds around the internet in recent months. Grand Theft Auto V is by far Rockstar's best-selling game, earning multiple awards for the studio and ranking as the 3rd best-selling game of all time behind Minecraft and Tetris. A 6th release is hotly anticipated by fans, even if it might still be far away. With a new generation of consoles quickly approaching, who knows what Rockstar has planned for its popular Mayhem series. Now that's all for this week's news. Now I'm going to be diving into the world of pro gaming with the help of Ninja's new book. If, like me, you've been a gamer ever since you were a child, you've probably heard the phrase, "You can't make money playing video games." On the contrary, the popularity of streaming platforms such as Twitch.tv means that if you have the right stuff, you can make some serious money. But what does it take to be a successful professional gamer? A few weeks back, I wouldn't have been able to tell you until we ran, here on Pixel Peak, a story about Tyler Blevins, better known as Ninja. Now, if you don't know, Ninja is perhaps the most successful gamer in history, having made over $10 million streaming video games last year alone. So when Ninja released his book, Get Good, My Ultimate Guide to Gaming, I saw my chance to become a pro. So let's see how effective this guide is at helping me get good. Now, my trip to the top would not be nearly as fun if I didn't have someone to do it with. So fortunately, I have here with me in the studio, Caitlin Halley, our producer.
Hello, hello, everyone.
Thank you for joining me today.
No problem. I am not great, so I'm just going to be here for moral support.
I appreciate it because Lord knows I barely know what I'm doing here, but we're going to make it work.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Now, of all the games, why did you choose Apex Legends?
Now, the primary reason I chose Apex Legends is because of the producers. The producers are Respawn Studios, the makers of Titanfall. Now, Apex Legends is not exactly Titanfall, but it shares a lot of characteristics, including like setting, weapons, and things like that. So I'm hoping that my skill in Titanfall will translate over into Apex Legends. Oh my God, is she
Naruto running?
Oh my God, she is.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay.
That had to be addressed.
You know, I saw the ninja scarf and like she's got kunai, but so, wow, wow, that's something. So something Ninja always kind of preaches is never stop talking. Always have something to say, always have something interesting to say. You know, that's not super easy, but I'm going to do my best. I hope I'm not sort of running my mouth right now. Oh, that was close. That was a good engagement. A long firefight, a little information loose though. I wish I'd had a closer quarters weapon. Maybe I could have gone on the offensive a bit more there. Oh, we didn't get a single person, really? That's a bummer.
All right, do we want to try another round?
Yeah, let's give this another go. Can I be an Apex Legend? I surely believe so.
Does Ninja have any tips on being more confident in yourself and your gaming skills?
Well, he talks a lot about preparation and the fact that the best way to ensure that you're going to do better is to practice, take notes, be thorough, and just like be tenacious, you know? But yeah, like Ninja says that like in large part, the biggest cue or the biggest advice he has about finding teammates is don't be afraid to put yourself out onto the community and say, hey, I'm streaming or I am trying to get GoPro and I'm looking for a few people to go into this with. I learned the hard way early on that sometimes your friends are not the best people to play online games with. Because, well, you know, it's sort of like how sometimes family should be left out of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. So this time around,
so you really need to find some ringer business partners to go in with you.
Oof, oof. Get him! Yeah!
Oh!
Yeah, real bad. Ah, quip. Oh, get him, get him, get him.
Come on.
It's a boxing match. Get him!
Come on. This is beautiful.
The glory of online gaming. Yeah, so the second part that Ninja talks about in terms of like getting to know a game and to succeeding is to know every single character. So I should, as a Pathfinder, be playing up to my strength. like my mobility is my strength, and I should be playing that off of my partners, especially since this is a game that is very much around being part of a squad and all of you having your individual strengths. Yeah, so each section is like, gear up, blow up, makeup. There's nothing about makeup, but could you imagine if there's a whole section about like
contouring for the camera?
Yes. But he does talk about like some things that we actually kind of talk about here in the studio as well. Here are the 4 pillars of improvement though: knowledge, mechanics, tactics, and strategy. I've got maybe one of those down. And this is meant to be a general guide. It doesn't just talk about first-person shooters, it talks about other types of games as well. Though it does tend to focus on shooters as kind of the primary genre, since that is really Ninja's forte. But some of the tactics he talks about are things like pre-firing, where before you're even around the corner, you are firing at a location where you think an opponent would be. Other things he talks about are, things like peeking and how to properly sort of gauge your reaction time and give yourself as much opportunity to get the upper hand on an opponent as possible. Like we have gotten that second game, we got so close to winning.
Yeah.
To me, feeling like a pro gamer almost.
Yeah.
But the fact that, the biggest challenge, of course, is actually getting in front of camera and playing in front of a screen and an audience. So, I guess you could say that I've been a pro gamer all along.
Oh, in your heart of hearts.
Yes.
You've always been a pro gamer.
The real pro gamers were the friends we made along the way. Perfect insight there.
Yeah.
Do we want to go one more time, see what happens?
Yeah. I want to get a win so bad.
Well, one more time. We got this.
I want to get
Look at him.
Chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Marking our surroundings.
Go hostiles.
13.
We have a chance. Don't want to jinx us, but we have a chance. Leave me alone. Buddy, save me. Oh, no. Okay, so my friend's probably going to leave me behind because I got on the train like an idiot. That's fine. But hey, I mean, we got pretty far, so let's see how
he gets.
Is he on the train?
He's on the tracks. He's not on the train.
Oh, he's getting shot from the side. Oh, buddy. Oh, caught out in the open.
It looks like a squad was camping out in the train.
It's smart.
In the tunnel.
You're not safe there.
We did all right.
Yeah, we didn't do too bad.
We did okay, though.
Yeah, I'd consider this a win for us.
We've steadily improved.
Yeah.
That's all we could ask for.
Yeah.
Well, Caitlin, thank you for joining me on this quest.
No problem.
I apologize if I have sweated all over your controller.
It's all right.
But yes, thank you for letting me use your system and to come in here and give it a shot. I hope that my little crow will one day lead me to victory in life and in gaming. Same to you. Wait. Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be so awkward.
Yeah, of course. Hey, I mean, it wouldn't be Pixel Peak if it wasn't awkward at times. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Pixel Peak. I'm Laird Davis.
And I'm Caitlin Halley.
We'll see you next time. Coming up next, our PC analyst Walker Peters speaks with Sydney about the upcoming event here on campus called Gamefest.
It's almost the end of the semester. Final project deadlines are approaching, and finals are just around the corner. This time of year, it can be hard to find ways to de-stress from the grind of the semester. This weekend, the Game Club here on campus is hosting this semester's Gamefest. Here to talk about Gamefest is our very own Walker Peters. So what is Gamefest?
Gamefest is an event that Gaming Club here at App State puts on once every semester. It's a huge event that lasts Saturday and Sunday, basically from when the student union opens to when it closes. And you can come in and play all sorts of games. We've got all sorts of events, from Mario Kart to League of Legends to Smash Bros to tabletop games like Magic the Gathering.
So I know you just said it, but like how long is the event?
So Gamefest starts at 10 a.m. the 26th, this Saturday, and will last until 10 p.m., right until the student union closes. And then on Sunday, we'll start about as early as we can at 1 p.m. and it will last till 10 p.m. So we've got all day, both days to play games.
Wow. Is this the first Gamefest?
It is not. We do it every semester, and we've done it for many years and will continue to do so for as long as we can.
And who is running the event?
App State Gaming, one of the largest student interest groups on campus, runs the event, and part of the proceeds go to charity, both for this event and the one we'll be running in the spring. So,
what events is Gamefest running, and what are some games?
we do all sorts. We do tournaments and we do casual games. In the way of tournaments, I know we've got League of Legends, Smash Bros, Magic the Gathering, Minecraft, Hunger Games. But even aside from that, we'll have casual game setups for games like Mario Kart or just tabletop games and board games that you want to play with friends.
What else is there to do besides the events?
Well, like I said, we'll have all sorts of casual game setups, and it doesn't have to be something we set up necessarily, but just like if you run into someone who you want to play cards with, you can play with them. We provide the space, and we actively encourage that people find things to do, not just that we set up, but within the community.
And do I have to be good at games to come?
Absolutely not. Anyone can come. Some of the tournaments do have an entry price, but for the casual games, anyone can show up, anyone can play. Absolutely anyone. Tell everyone you know. Tell your mom. Tell your dad.
And when is Gamefest?
Gamefest, like I said, is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, just about all day in the Student Union in Grandfather Mountain Ballroom on the first floor across from Cascades.
All right, that's all we have for today. Now over to Laird and Kristen to wrap up this week's live show.
That's all we have for this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed it.
We continue to be a little bit of experimental for Season 3. Maybe that means that the editorial section really won't come back.
You and Sydney should really be more careful about speaking its name. I was hoping that our producers would forget about it. They might throw it in before the end of the season just to see us suffer.
Oh, they wouldn't do that, right?
Whatever surprises we throw into future episodes, you'll find out as long as you keep watching the show every week. You can watch us go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. until Thanksgiving weekend on watchapptv.com or on Sky Best channels 20 and 1020, Spectrum channel 198, or on AppTV's campus television channel 23.3.
And with spooky season right around the corner, you can keep up to date with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Pixel Peak AppTV. We might just surprise you. Not scare you, that would be mean.
As for this week's episode, we wouldn't be in studio right now if not for our crew. Thanks to writers Jalen Cureton, Laird Davis, and Rebecca Larson, PC analyst Walker Peters, and producers Caitlin Halley, Tanner Mazzell, and Michael Annable for another great episode.
Thank you so much again for watching, and we hope you enjoyed your stay here
on Pixel Peak.